Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. India needs a strong opposition. It is important for our parliamentary democracy. It's important because every system needs checks and balances. We here at Mirror Now believe that strongly and refrain ourselves from predicting doom and gloom for the India alliance like most other channels do. It's an alliance of 28 opposition parties that have come together to take on the mighty BJP in 2024. I say mighty because the BJP had won 303 seats in the 543-member Lok Sabha in 2019. So that is mighty. And when you are fighting an enemy like the BJP, the one thing you need to ensure is that there are no chinks in your armor, that your troops are united, and your commanders are on the same page. Unfortunately, for the India alliance, the cracks within are increasingly visible to all. They are visible in Punjab, they are visible in Delhi, they are visible in Kerala, they are visible in West Bengal. And now they are very, very visible in election-bound Madhya Pradesh. Yesterday, a fuming Akhilesh Yadav accused the Congress party of cheating the Samajwadi Party. He said he was promised 6 seats and given none in the end. So now the Samajwadi Party has fielded 30 of its candidates in Madhya Pradesh, which means in 30 seats, alliance partners, Congress and Samajwadi Party will be fighting against each other. What sort of alliance is this? Akhilesh is now threatening tit-for-tat action in UP and says that no one will trust the Congress after what they have done to the Samajwadi Party in Madhya Pradesh.
मेरा मानना यह है कि अगर आपको सीट नहीं देनी थी तो समाजवादियों से बात नहीं करनी चाहिए थी। इसलिए समाजवादी पार्टी वहीं लड़ रही है जहां पर समाजवादी पार्टी का संगठन और मजबूत प्रत्याशी है। इंडिया गठबंधन अब मुझे पता लगा मध्य प्रदेश के बाद भारत के चुनाव के लिए है, इंडिया के चुनाव के लिए है, देश के चुनाव के लिए है कि अगर कांग्रेस इसी तरह का व्यवहार करेगी तो कौन उनके साथ खड़ा होगा। अगर कंफ्यूजन के साथ आप चुनाव लड़ोगे बीजेपी से तो आप कामयाब नहीं होगे।
The Congress on its part feels that the Samajwadi Party has absolutely no business entering Madhya Pradesh when the direct fight in the state is between the BJP and the Congress. Today, Madhya Pradesh Congress chief Kamal Nath completely dismissed Akhilesh and his gripe with this statement. Listen to him.
सर अखिलेश यादव ने आरोप लगाया कि उन्होंने भी बोला
अरे भाई छोड़ो अखिलेश
सर अखिलेश यादव ने आरोप लगाया कि उन्होंने भी बोला
अरे भाई छोड़ो अखिलेश
अरे भाई छोड़ो अखिलेश व अखिलेश को. Is that how one alliance partner talks about another? After all this mess up, the Congress has come up with this explanation. Pawan Khera of the Congress party is saying that the India alliance is only for the Lok Sabha elections and not for the state elections. Point is, Akhilesh Yadav has already said in the soundbite that you have heard that it is only in Madhya Pradesh that he has got to know that the alliance is for the 2024 elections, the elections for India, and not for individual state elections. Listen to him.
India alliance is for the upcoming Lok Sabha election. It's a national alliance. In our states, we have different aspirations of parties, different objectives of the parties, and we are in several states contesting against it. But India is a national alliance for the Lok Sabha election, an important, very important part of our alliance. And why would you even think of them walking out? All the constituents of the India alliance they have a common objective of saving this country, saving the constitution of India from the kind of government that we've witnessed for the last 10 years.
Meanwhile, as expected, the BJP is having a field day with fissures in the India alliance. Listen in to what Madhya Pradesh's Chief Minister, Shivraj Singh Chauhan, is saying.
जिस दिन इंडी गठबंधन बना था, हमने कह दिया था ये बेमेल गठबंधन है, घमंडिया गठबंधन है, इनमें ना लोगों के विचार एक है और ना दिल एक है। केवल मोदी जी की लोकप्रियता से घबराकर ये बेमेल गठबंधन बना था, जो बनने के पहले टूट रहा है। इंडी गठबंधन ने मध्य प्रदेश में रैली तय की थी, कमलनाथ जी ने कैंसिल करवा दी, घुसने से ही मना कर दिया, रोक दिया। दिल्ली में दोस्ती और राज्यों में कुश्ती।
Now, it isn't just the BJP. Even partners within the alliance are raising questions over the alliance. For example, we are now hearing from National Conference leader and former Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, Omar Abdullah. He's saying that the alliance has hit a major stumbling block and that there is no clarity on whether the alliance is only for 2024 or for state elections as well. That is a major alliance partner speaking about the fact that there is confusion within the alliance as to whether they are allies only for 2024, which is the general election next year, or whether they are allies even for state elections. Point is, there have been multiple meetings that the alliance partners, that the India alliance has done over the last few months. This is a basic question one would think would have been answered, but there seems to be no clarity on this one question either, because there are now two alliance partners who are raising that question, that confusion. My guest this evening, Charu Pragya, national spokesperson of the BJP, joining us. Neerja Chowdhury is a senior journalist joining us on the broadcast. Ghanshyam Tiwari is the national spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. And Sanjay Jha is an author who joins us on the broadcast as well. Sanjay Jha, can I just start with you and ask you whether you are in a position to make sense of what is happening in Madhya Pradesh after multiple meetings of the India alliance? How is it possible for partners like Omar Abdullah and Akhilesh Yadav not to know or not to have the clarity that the alliance is only meant for 2024 and not state elections? Essentially, Akhilesh Yadav, one of the alliance partners of the Congress party, is accusing it of treachery, of cheating.
Shreya, a very pertinent question. I have two short points to make. Number one, I think the India alliance is very clear that the BJP is a threat to Indian democracy, it's a threat to India's constitutional democracy and needs to be defeated, which can be done collectively. And I'm actually very optimistic that the India alliance can defeat the BJP in 2024. Having said that, I think the problem is a very genuine one, and that is that seat distribution is a complex, complicated case. And I think I'm a little astonished because, it is very easy to have this conversation of whether the India alliance is going to fight together in the Lok Sabha and leave the state assembly elections to each one for themselves. When the leaders met in Patna, when they met in Bangalore, when they met in Bombay or Mumbai, this is the basic level of clarity. When all the established heavyweights are there, they should establish that. It's not such a complicated job. And one of the things that all alliance partners should recognize is that if you can't postpone a problem, Shreya. In politics, many people believe that don't talk about it today, we'll address it tomorrow. But that problem actually becomes a Frankenstein's monster. So end of day, this could have been easily avoided if in the last meeting in Mumbai, they were clear as crystal water that come the assembly elections, we will try and see if we can do something on a best effort basis. But this is principally an alliance for the central elections. Number two, and I have said it before and I'll say it again through your very respectable program, that the India alliance partners, Akhilesh is a very senior partner, alliance partner, so is the Congress. They must all realize that every time they're critical of each other publicly, they only give BJP fodder to run down the alliance. And I think this is some degree of, I would say, restraint and civility that all parties will have to maintain. Defeating the BJP is not a tough task, but if you're going to commit harakiri, you just make it very easy for them.
But Ghanshyam Tiwari, who's committing harakiri? Is it the Samajwadi Party chief who is visibly angry in that soundbite? And at one point, I didn't play out the entire bite, but at one point he even goes on to say that the Congress is acting at the behest of the BJP. If this is how a major alliance partner is going to speak against another alliance partner, what is the hope for this alliance, whether in 2023 or in 2024, Ghanshyam Tiwari?
Good evening, Shreya, to you, my fellow co-panelists, and the viewers. There are two or three things that are transparently emerging from this situation. One is that the nitty-gritties of this alliance, both from a way to address the leaders, partners, as well as the road ahead, is not yet a done deal. The nuts and bolts are not in place right now. No meetings have happened. This is visible and it is transparent, and it's a fair critique that this alliance will receive as a result. And it's a fair game for BJP to take this to the people. That's one. Second is the nature in which Kamal Nath ji, who has been a chief minister, who has been union minister, has addressed Akhilesh ji. This is, even for an opposition leader, is not a language, not a tone. And it demonstrates that at Kamal Nath ji's level, there is an undue sense of ego that is not good for any kind of alliance building. And as a result, the angry tone of Samajwadi Party and our national president is justified. That is, this is the way Congress wants to speak to the allies, talk to the top leaders. Then they are not serious about taking on BJP and the values on which the nation needs a new government, a new alliance to establish a new government or win the trust of the people. So,
but Mr. Tiwari, can I just say this? It's not just Kamal Nath. Fact is that even your leader Akhilesh Yadav has called the senior most leader of the Congress in Uttar Pradesh a Chirkut person. So this it's not abuse. I won't go as far as to say this is abuse, but if this is how alliance partners are going to speak about each other in public, you're only eroding the credibility of the alliance. That's all you're doing. And we all want this alliance to succeed, just by the way, because India needs a strong democracy. It needs a strong opposition.
I agree that this criticism will come to the alliance that such sparring in public will erode credibility. Also, I agree that the sparring is with an angry tone. However, if the Congress party misleads the partner in alliance formation, saying that we would conduct meetings, we would accept your list, and then publishes a list without taking the partner into confidence, then it communicates an unfair treatment, and it has to be called out. Alliances are not built on bullying or unfair, unjustified means. That is the reason if we have to look at alliances of that nature, N.D.A is full of alliances of that nature, where one party can bully the alliance partner, break the alliance partner, disqualify the alliance partner. All kinds of acts can be committed within an alliance against an alliance partner. That is N.D.A. That is not what India alliance is supposed to be. If we are supposed to be different, then Congress party as the leader of the pack has to be more fair, more transparent, and more measured in its approach.
But the fact is that as far as the N.D.A party is concerned, there is only one gunda in town, that's the BJP. They are so big that they don't need the others. In this case, the Congress party does need everyone else, and everyone else does need the Congress party. Charu Pragya, maza to bahut aa raha hoga aapko aur BJP ko.
Yeah, thanks from the very beginning. Since the first day they formed this so-called alliance, I have been calling them out because one, they never seem to have an agenda. And two, even conducting meeting after meeting in one fancy place after another, nothing concrete has really come out. And Shreya, I assure you, I'm very much a glass half full kind of a person. In this case, I don't even see a glass. That's how bad the I.N.D.I.A alliance situation is. You pick any political party in this alliance. Now, whether it is I.N.D.I.A party versus the Congress, the fight goes on in Delhi, the fight goes on in Punjab, whether it is TMC versus the Congress, West Bengal is in a mess. Adhir Ranjan ji has opened an entire morcha. And now the newest one is Samajwadi Party. ऐसे देखो इंसल्ट पे इंसल्ट करे जा रहे हैं. सबसे पहले तो वो ये बोलते हैं कि उत्तर प्रदेश में तो कांग्रेस की कोई प्रेजेंस ही नहीं है. Now he's gone on to say Congress does not even have a presence in Madhya Pradesh. So Congress needs to be worried right now. Where exactly do you have a presence? Are you aware of that? Look at the kind of language that's being used. एक तरफ से अखिलेश जी को कहा जाता है अखिलेश वखिलेश. और यहाँ से शब्दों का इस्तेमाल क्या हो रहा है? चिरकुट बोला जा रहा है, दो कौड़ी के नेता बोला जा रहा है. How shameful is that? And they think that they are in some kind of an alliance together. Their alliance was over the minute they used the name India and they put these dots, these full stops. That is when their alliance was over. And the optics of it is now getting over in front of the people of this country. See, they went at by-elections by themselves. They didn't want to contest together. They're doing state elections by themselves. And for the national elections, from the very beginning, they have said as far as possible. Acha, I don't agree with Akhilesh ji when he feels betrayed here. Was he not listening to all the television debates? Was he not listening to all the statements being made by his own spokespersons? Because I, for sure, have mentioned this repeatedly, that how are your party workers going to first contest separately for the 5 state elections and then come together just a few short weeks later for the general election? So I think he was sitting there with his ears pierced. Everybody is writing their own high horse here. And I'm repeating what I have said before, Shreya. None of this is new.
Okay, but Charu, here's the thing. If the India alliance was over even before it began, the BJP wouldn't have started referring to it as the I.N.D.I.A alliance. I just want to take a second here, a couple of seconds here, and understand from you, Charu, why the BJP has started calling the I.N.D.I.A alliance the I.N.D.I.A alliance. Bhai, naam to uska India hai na? Indi क्यों बोल रहे हो उसको?
जी बिल्कुल श्रेया, लेकिन लेट्स लुक एट द फुल फॉर्म, राइट? अगर आप उसको डबल ए थोड़ी लगा रहे हो, 2 बार अलायंस थोड़ी लिख रहे हो, तो इंडिया का ए स्टैंड्स फॉर अलायंस. सो इफ यू आर कॉलिंग इट अलायंस इन फुल फॉर्म, इट बिकम्स इंडिया अलायंस. कम ऑन, इट्स बेसिक इंग्लिश. ऑल ऑफ अस अंडरस्टैंड दैट. इंडिया अलायंस कैसे हो सकता है, मुझे बताओ.
ये लॉजिक नहीं.
कैसे हो सकता है? कैसे हो सकता है, मुझे बताओ. नाउ
ये
वेरी वेरी लर्नेड.
नहीं, इंडिया बोल सकते हैं आप.
गिव अस द फुल.
हाँ, चलो
नहीं बोलना चाहती.
चलो ठीक है.
I think it is.
I know we are.
Hurting the sentiment when you.
I know this is. We are going off trajectory.
Indian National Congress तो आप थे ही ना. But let's come back to the topic at hand.
But what's the problem? Okay, no, give me a minute. Give me a minute. I just want to tell viewers. I know I'm digressing, but this is something that really interests me. So please bear with me. Sanjay Jha, would you want to respond to this entire I.N.D.I.A alliance wala question, which I've had in my mind for the last couple of weeks now? Do you buy what Charuji is saying?
Yeah, Shreya, by that logic, we should call it the ND alliance. We should call it the BJ party. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's very childish. And I can tell you, this tells you the insecurity of this party. I mean, the BJP is actually, in my opinion, it trivializes what I call as a real serious national issue. Here is India alliance. Don't be so scared. I can tell you this government actually panicked and brought in this whole Bharat conversation simply because they were kind of panicky about how do we criticize India. And at the moment, India seems to be playing very well in the World Cup. And I hope BJP is not very unhappy with that. But there are 2 short points, Shreya, very quickly. The India alliance should remember that in Ladakh, when they were together, they routed the BJP. Number 2, very important, Shreya, that end of day, I recognize it being in politics for a long time. It is a work in progress. Seat distribution is never going to be easy. Every party has a certain stake. Like, for example, Samajwadi won just 1 seat in 2018, right? But they came number 2 in the other 10 or 12. So they will have a legitimate need to be present there. These have to be negotiated. And my only request to all the India Alliance partners through your show, Shreya, is please show civility, be patient and tactful. Always remember the bigger goal is to defeat the BJP. Don't indulge in your short-term, brownie point scoring and give the BJP an opportunity to run you down.
Okay. So the India alliance got the name right. They simply haven't been able to get their troops together, which is the challenge. Name challenge, I think they have conquered. The unity challenge remains. Neerja Chowdhury, as a journalist who has seen many alliances come and go, many elections come and go.
But before we change the topic, can I please respond to Sanjay?
Yeah.
So,
Chalo, 10 seconds, Pragya.
बीजेपी, भारतीय जनता पार्टी को आप बीजेपी पार्टी तो कभी भी नहीं बोलते हो ना, आप केवल बीजेपी बोलते हो. In this case, the full form of I.N.D.I.A is the Indian National Developmental Inclusive Alliance. तो आप alliance 2 बार क्यों बोलोगे? 2 बार क्यों बोलोगे?
अरे उनका मन वो कितनी बार भी बोले. चारू, उनका मन वो कितनी बार भी बोले. चलिए छोड़िए. Let's leave this conversation aside. Let's leave this conversation aside. I was just curious. I was just curious. Let's leave this conversation aside because I think we have a more serious matter at hand. Yeah. Neerja ji, I want to ask you how you read what is happening in the state of Madhya Pradesh, because Akhilesh Yadav was not just angry, he was fuming, and it seems even Omar Abdullah were genuinely confused about what this alliance is all about, whether it's for 2024 or whether for state elections as well. I want to ask you, itna meeting kar liya India Alliance ne, Bombay mein kar liya, Bangalore mein kar liya, har jagah kar liya, and this basic question has not been answered. There is no clarity on this one basic point. And here they are hoping to fight a 2024 election together against the mighty BJP.
I think that is another issue. But Madhya Pradesh is very unfortunate because Madhya Pradesh is a close contest between Congress and the BJP. And as of now, from the reports coming in, Congress is ahead. The stakes are very high for the Congress. But the BJP in the last weeks has been catching up with the various schemes announced by Shreya Dhoundial. Of course, the BJP has the disadvantage of not having a clear chehra, with the party uncertain about projecting Shreya Dhoundial again as CM. So there are advantages on the Congress side. So for this to happen, it was so, it could have been dealt with very easily. And I would say for it to be more important than even the seat sharing not happening and the Samajwadi Party fielding their candidates in that many constituencies is the language that's been used. Do you use that kind of a language for a senior leader of another party who is an ally? Even in pique, in anger, I find this very, very strange and odd that this should happen, because it is that which creates bitterness and angst and will have a bearing on seat sharing. So therefore, as far as your other question, yes, this is something that should have been sorted out very simply. That it's a national alliance, from what we understood, that the India alliance is going to work out one-on-one contests in as many constituencies, Lok Sabha constituencies, as possible, and the number they were working on were 400. Now, some places they'll be able to make it, some places they will not be able to make it, and at the end of the day, it's not as if India Alliance has a common leader, no, common symbol, no, they're going to do joint campaigning, yes. Politically, there are differences. It's a Congress party versus I.N.D.I.A party. In Delhi, Punjab, it's Mamata Banerjee versus Left Congress in West Bengal, and so on. It's Congress, of course, in these Hindi heartland states, the other parties don't have a presence. So for the Samajwadi Party also to insist that we will field that many seats, I mean, they don't have stakes, high stakes when they're fighting against the BJP. So they could have been more generous and accommodative. So I think things needed to be very, very clearly spelled out. And the India Alliance partners seem to go public before they have sorted things out. Normally in politics, what happens is you have people behind the scenes working these things out. And when they speak up publicly, it is the final outcome. It's not the process that kitchen में जब खिचड़ी बनती है, खिचड़ी बनती हुई आप नहीं दिखाते हैं, आप टेबल पे खिचड़ी लाते हैं और डिश को दिखाते हैं. But this doesn't seem to be working with the India Alliance. So I think it's very unfortunate. And Akhilesh Yadav, Congress is going to need Akhilesh Yadav in Uttar Pradesh and vice versa. You know, given the way the Muslims are now looking at the Congress as an alternative, the regional parties, it will be in their interest to go for an alliance with the Congress, not to have the Muslim vote dividing even by 5-10%. So I think it is in their interest to come to each other's aid. What has happened in Madhya Pradesh, I would say again, is very unfortunate.
And you rightly say, Madhya Pradesh is a close contest. The last thing you want to happen in the state of Madhya Pradesh when it comes to the Congress is your own alliance partners marring that chance for you. Ghanshyam Tiwari, I'll let you have the last word. You know, it's often said with friends like these, who needs enemies? And that seems to be the case as far as the India Alliance is concerned. Agar aap logi, you know, there is so much khichdi in so many states as far as the alliance is concerned. Again, you know, there's a question of credibility. Why would India's public in 2024 want this khichdi if they can get a paki pakai biryani? All right, maybe not biryani, maybe dal, chawal and sabzi. But anyhow, just answer the question. I think you got the spirit of what I was trying to say.
Yes, definitely. I think one is that the benchmark that this will be a perfect alliance where every movement of the alliance making will be harmonious and there will be no rough stories coming into the press is not an expectation that we are going in with. We are going in with an expectation that whether it was the first meeting when there was a difference of opinion between Congress Party and I.N.D.I.A Party, situation not lead to disrespect and
oh, this is sad. Ghanshyam, there's a network issue on your end. So I don't know. Should I end the show on a network issue problem? No, I don't. I think I'll give Sanjay Jha the last word. Sanjay Jha, go ahead. We don't want to end on a note where we can't hear a speaker. Please go ahead. You understood the spirit of the question I was trying to ask.
Absolutely. And taking off from that, I think the India alliance needs to be better networked. You know, these are basics of politics, that you maintain a certain degree of character and civility in your public discourse. The reason why we are doing this program, Shreya, is just because of the very outrageous use of language of very senior leaders towards each other. Now, this is frankly speaking bizarre. You are taking on the BJP. I can tell you the Congress is having the tailwind in its favor in Madhya Pradesh. If Samajwadi Party with even a 2% vote share is able to make you win by a bigger margin, take them on board. By the same logic, I think politics is about negotiation, it's about dialogue, it's about give and take. And the moment you get into hubris and arrogance that I'm going to win this state and therefore I can treat this guy into the back burner for a while, that's not the done thing. In fact, I believe in politics. If you're ahead, you show greater humility. And if you're down, you show greater confidence. These are the basics of politics. I think the India Alliance partners need to take a deep breath. There is a tailwind, there is an opportunity, but it will help by first being charitable towards each other. The BJP should not benefit because you guys are impatient and perhaps unnecessarily acrimonious.
And you could start by not calling each other Chirkut and
Exactly.
Akhilesh Vakhilesh. We'll leave it there for the moment. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sanjay Jha, for joining us. Good to have you. Ghanshyam Tiwari, unfortunate bit with that network issue, but thanks nevertheless. Neerja Chowdhury ji, always good to get your perspective. Charu Pragya, keep coming to the show. We don't see you often enough here. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Absolutely.